Today, my guest is Marco Langon, a senior distance runner at Bridgewater Raritan High School in New Jersey. Marco recently ran 4:04.6 to finish fifth at the New Balance Nationals in the New York Armory. Earlier this winter, he won the New Jersey Meet of Champions 3200 in 8:48. At the East Bay Northeast Cross Country Regionals, Marco equaled Don Cabral's meet record of 15:09, finishing second behind Gavin Sherry's 15:05. But at the 2021 New Jersey Outdoor Meet of Champions 1600, he was only fourth, finishing behind fellow juniors Rakaitis of Kingsway and Brosnan of Union Catholic. Marco was the New Jersey Mile Split Indoor Runner of the Year and will be attending Villanova in the fall. Welcome, Marco, to the podcast. So I'd like to begin by asking you, Marco, why did you disagree with Jim Lambert's 2021 preseason cross-country predictions when Rakaitis, Brosnan, and Jackson Barna of Ridge seemed arguably better?
Mostly because I'm just confident in myself, and it was that I disagreed. It was just like I like, if you're looking at 3,200 rankings, I was third in the state, and then me being ranked fifth in the state in cross country kind of like pissed me off a little bit, and it definitely lit a fire inside to run fast and win me the champs.
Now, some athletes might feel defeated by that prediction, but you said lit a fire under you. Why do you think that is?
Just because of how I am. I mean, I've never been picked to really win anything or picked to do anything good in life in general. And it was just me and the small group around me that really do believe in what I could do. And the fact that I believed the whole time I would be able to win. So I never think I could lose. So that's probably why.
Nice. And when you come across the finish line, I noticed, I've seen you race, you put your finger across your mouth, hushing people up or signaling quiet or whatever. What does that mean?
It's kind of a big fuck you to people who said I couldn't do it. It's I saw Cole Hawker do that in the Olympic trials against Centrowitz, and it kind of was a big motivation. And it's pretty much telling everyone who wrote me off that they were wrong, and no one's really talking afterwards.
All right, so you're hushing them up.
Yeah, for the most part.
So before taking up running, did you try out any other sports?
Yeah, I was a lacrosse player. I did wrestling, basketball, a little bit of baseball and football.
How did you come to running then?
My mom, actually there's this game, Pokemon Go, and it was a phone game, and in order to do good in it, you have to use your phone, and you have to walk or run and get steps in. So I wanted to join the cross country team in 7th grade to do that. And then I kind of got addicted to the winning aspect of it. And it's an individual sport, and I really like winning. So that was probably it just got me more and more obsessed with it, and it drove me into high school.
And when was that moment when you said, wow, I can really be good at this?
Probably, I never thought I would be bad at it, but probably the main reasons I quit is because I loved the track atmosphere and the people around me. I loved all my friends that I had running, and I realized if I ended up doing lacrosse, I wouldn't be able to hang out with my friends all the time and go on runs with them. So that was probably a big reason.
So community friendship is really important to you in running. How does that extend beyond running to support you to reach your goals?
Oh, everyone's going to say they have the best support group in the world, but I really mean it when I say it. I have so many people behind me helping me out, and it honestly, I train with Red Bank Catholic, and it just feels like family there. I love them to death. They're some of the greatest people I know. I don't know what I'd be able to doing without them.
So even though some people can say running is solitary or feels solitary, for you, it feels like connection, and you're included and you're part of something big.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like, there's a quote Eliud Kipchoge said, and it was like 99% of me is nothing compared to 1% of the whole team. And I mean, that speaks like measures. It's 100% true. I think like all of my all of it's like just a team effort.
Can you repeat that quote again? It sounds wonderful.
99% of me is nothing compared to 1% of the whole team.
Nice, very nice. So speaking of Red Bank Catholic, in your freshman year, you ran 4:26 to win freshman New Balance indoor and
Yeah.
4:17 outdoors, training under the Bridgewater Raritan coach. But you
Yeah.
don't train under him anymore. You train with the Red Bank Catholic and Runners High Running Store owner, Rob D. Philippus.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So I ended up getting injured my the summer going into my sophomore year, and the doctor that me and my mom found, like, actually, if she watches this, she found the doctor. I didn't do anything. She found it all, but he pretty much was clearing me to run, and then I got injured again, and then the doctor's like, listen, your high school coach isn't cutting it, and you could be something great, so I'm not going to clear you to run unless you get trained by my friend Rob. And I said, all right, like, I'm all about it. And I mean, it was just like, it kind of turned into like a coaching thing and like a favor. Rob was more doing it for a favor for the doctor. And then it more seems like Rob's now doing it for himself, coaching me. And it's more of like a friendship, trust, father figure type of deal.
That sounds really valuable.
Yeah.
And he's coached you through this rivalry you have with New Jersey runner Jackson Barna. You guys are in the conference, same section, same Group 4 division in New Jersey.
And same county too.
Same county. So tell us about that rivalry. When did that begin?
That began around probably 8th grade. Yeah, around, I mean, I raced him like a couple times in 7th grade, but it wasn't anything big. But 8th grade, we were just going back and forth in cross country. And then I obviously did lacrosse in the spring, so I didn't do track. But freshman year, kind of just kept going on through the indoor season. And I mean, it just carried through like that. There's really nothing more else to be said. Just we raced all the time. So it just became a big rivalry.
Now, Penn Relays is coming up at the end of the month. What event are you in and what are your goals?
I'm in the 3K and the only goal is to win. Doesn't matter time or anything. At the end of the day, time's like irrelevant. I don't really care about time. There's no point of looking at it. You can't wrap your head around that. I only care about like winning it.
Now, I have my master's in sports psychology and I'm a mental performance coach. And a lot of athletes that I work with get fixated on time and focusing on that as a goal. How do you, what is your thought about that? How do you let go of that?
Time's bullshit. There's no way around it. I mean, there's, at the end of the day, like, I think of it as like, imagine you're a kid running down the street with your friends or down the block with your friends. You're not timing it. You just have one friend at the end of the street, the two of you, and or however many of you are racing, and you're racing. You're not going for a time because there's no point in just looking at time.
So you have mentioned before to me in other conversations, speaking of numbers, that your actual weekly mileage is like 30 to 35 miles a week. So is that part of the thinking too with your training?
Sometimes like 40, 45, but like mileage is an afterthought at the end of the day.
Okay.
It's nothing to be looked at. Yeah.
So then it sounds like you would say that your training is really based on effort.
I'd say
effort
so.
And
yeah.
hard work.
Yeah, just hard work. And I mean, a good thing, like Rob told me, I asked him what his philosophy on training is, and he said if someone's motivated, all you need to do is get their heart rate elevated a little bit, and you get them to the next level. His goal for me is just to get me to the next level, and everything else is icing on the cake. Like, obviously our goal is to win, but he doesn't want to mortgage my future just to accomplish things. And like, I'm now that like I'm able to run fast off of the training he's giving me, very fast. And yeah. So
speaking of your future, you're going to be going to Villanova, running under Marcus O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
What gets you excited about college? And in what ways are you sort of preparing for what you might not know is coming?
I mean, I'm taking it one step at a time. I'm not even looking at college right now, but like, I'm so excited to train under O'Sullivan. I mean, my coach it was really like, would my coach give me the green flag on it? And he did. He loves O'Sullivan. He knows O'Sullivan pretty well. And actually, a lot of the people that I am friends with, like in the older generations, they're great. They know O'Sullivan very well, and they all said like that is the place for you. And I mean, being a New Jersey kid, I feel like the New Jersey to Villanova pipeline is like no other. It's just like the best runner from New Jersey every single year is pretty much went to Villanova.
So what's the fastest New Jersey high school time in the mile?
3:59.8.
Who's run that?
Marty LaCory, who went to Villanova, and I have one of his books right here.
All right. How about second fastest? Or who was the first person?
In New Jersey, in New
Yeah.
Jersey. Edward Cheserek, 4:02. And then he split 4 flat in a relay once.
Have you spoken to any of the great milers in New Jersey that preceded you?
Vince Cartier. He gave me a call, and I was like blown away. I remember the first time I talked to him. I love Vince to death. He's an amazing guy and an amazing mentor. But he told me, like, when I told him I was gonna beat his record, his time, he said, well, it's a little bit hard. And I said, oh, you think so? And just it's a little competitive, but he's a great guy. He's a true competitor and someone I look up to for sure.
And what was his accolade?
He was, I'd say he was an indoor state record holder. I wouldn't really consider Cheserek, but he was the first American-born or Jersey-born specifically fastest mile runner of all time.
Nice.
And he actually ended up holding that. He held the national record for a bit too.
So I hear you also like to go online and watch some old videos on YouTube of races, particularly some New Jersey races. What are an example of some of the?
Let's see. Watching the old Milrose games videos are really cool because it's on that old odd-sized wooden track in Madison Square Garden. That just seemed like a crazy atmosphere. I loved watching Marty LaCory races or any of the Marcus O'Sullivan races. I've watched every O'Sullivan race that was recorded for Milrose. I watched and just like studied it, and he's like a runner who I look up to, and the fact that he's being my coach next year is pretty cool.
And you've watched probably Mike Starr and John Carlotti showdown.
Oh yeah, in the Milrose showdown, and that was like 72, right, or something like that. 70, yeah, 72.
That was 80. Yeah, that was
in the
80s.
Or 78. That was in the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a little
83.
earlier, but yeah, I remember watching that. That was a really good race to watch.
So, what do you get out of tapping into the history of running? You mentioned you read the Marty LaCory book. You've spoken to Vince Cartier. What does that mean to you to make that a part of your journey?
I mean, a lot of people probably don't know this, but I'm like a running statistician. I love everything about it. Like just learning from the older generations and hearing all the stories. Like I know, like I'm almost very sure that I'm a very different type of runner when it comes to the things I do. And like, I'm sure like people are going to be talking about that for a long time. And then now me hearing the stories from way back when of all these runners, it's just cool to me. I love soaking it in. Like it's probably sometimes not healthy because it distracts you from like schoolwork, but like I love learning like running history.
Now we have a question for you from Twitter from a super fan of my tweeting and work, Rob Petrick. He's a Pennsylvania high school coach. He says, he asked, how do you stay mentally adaptable to things you can't control?
By I don't even. I mean, a good example of that is Meet of Champions for indoor. I didn't because there's two events that me and Jackson Barna qualified for, the mile and 2 mile. We had no clue what we were running. Or well, I knew I was running a 32. I had no clue what he was running. He probably knew he was running a 32 as well. But I just so obviously we had like a couple different plans, actually two different plans, one with him in the race, one with him not in the race. And we didn't stay fixated on one plan, but we knew like whatever when we know who's racing what, like we are dead set on the plan and we don't deviate from it. Like you have a plan, you stick to it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You don't fuck around. You stick to the plan. That's it. Like you obviously in the race, you want to be adaptable and be able to shift when you need to. But the way I run, since I'm like more of a sit and kick runner, it's just I have to sit no matter how fast the pace is and just kick. Like I know I have probably the strongest kick in the field every single time. And even if I don't, I'm still going to know when to kick. And it's more about just having good race instincts, I feel like.
And I want to make a correction. It's not Rob Petrick, it's Doug Petrick, and he's at Upper St. Clair High School. He also asks, how many hours of sleep do you get a night? I also coach runners, and they're on their phones. They're getting 6 hours of sleep, and they should be getting 8 to 10. So how many hours of sleep? Come on, fess up.
Anywhere. Depends on the night, but anywhere from 4 to 9. I mean, I'm not going to stress over anything. Like I'm just, when I'm tired, I go to sleep. When I'm not, like, I mean, granted, I do take a nap throughout the day and it's like an hour, 2 hour nap, but like with work and everything and just be like having to like get stuff done, get shit like figured out. I do end up staying up around like 12 or something like that, 12, 1, but it doesn't affect me in any sort of way. Like I know my limit. I'm not gonna pull an all nighter the night before a race, but like before a race, if I want to stay up late and hang out with my friends, I'm gonna stay late and hang out with my friends. I'm not gonna let a race dictate what I do before it.
And then what are some of your other non-running interests?
I love going out with my friends, drinking coffee. I love playing with cards like Magic. I love skating, cooking. I love cooking specifically. Cooking is like a big thing, but yeah.
So what is a favorite thing? Do you have a favorite thing to cook? Like if you were to cook dinner tonight, what would you make?
I mean, really whatever I'm in the mood for. If I want pasta, I'll cook pasta. If I want to make like burrito tacos, I'll make burrito tacos. But I mean, I love making fresh pasta, like homemade pasta, and like rolling it out, and being able to make whatever sauce I feel like bolognese or or like a vodka sauce, like anything like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe you're track's celebrity chef.
Yeah, that would be the goal.
Do you have any Italian in you?
Yeah, I'm Sicilian.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So you mentioned magic tricks, and we're all waiting on the edge of our seat for you to perform some magic tricks for us. Can you do that?
Right. Yeah, sure. So, I mean, these were a deck of cards from, I think 2 years ago. They're called Knocks, and they're just like a blank back face. And like, I'm not as into magic anymore, but like when I was younger, I would go to the mall and like do tricks and make money so I could like get food or get clothes, whatever I really felt like. But like, I don't know, I'll think something like simple. So like the Queen of Hearts, right? If you put it in the middle of the deck, like that's in the middle, right? Like about middle, and you just push it in and it just comes back to the top like that. So yeah, just anything like that. I mean, it's a lot easier to do stuff in person, but yeah.
Wow. Don't give your secrets away.
I won't. I'm sure anyone who's seen magic or practiced it before knows that that's the easiest thing like there is, but
something harder.
Huh? Oh, your mic is
show us that again.
Oh shit. Nice. Yeah, as you can see, I'm like a little out of practice, but yeah.
So is there a correlation between magic and racing for you? How would you connect those two? How is racing like magic for you?
I'd say racing is more like cards, like card games. That like me and my grandpa, we played this game. We play this game Rummy every time I see him. It's I'm sure you know like the game Rummy, like the 11 card game, and like you play for points and everything like that. And pretty much how what he tells me is don't speculate, don't assume like a card's gonna come out. So like know that there's gonna be changes in the game, changes in the deck, and pretty much there's this rule called like knocking, and it's where you like don't actually accomplish the point of the game, and you could win a different way. And to me, knocking is almost like sitting and kicking in a race, is doing it the short way and like kind of gambling almost. And like I like to leave the race up to a gamble, and once I go, like I know I have it. Like that's how I like to race. So that's how I really believe it is.
Well, Marco, thank you for putting your cards out on the table today. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, no problem.
And we'll catch up with you after Penn Relays, and we'll follow up and do another podcast. So stay tuned, everybody. I also want to mention to my listeners, if they enjoyed the podcast today, that there'll be a link below for a previous podcast I did with NC State runner Marley Starlipper. So thank you very much for joining us today, Marco.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.